How are you? Us here waiting to host a special guest. And all Uniteds are special to us. So we're hoping, not hoping, planning to have an in depth, very lively, and culturally focused discussion with our councillor candidate out of the Papine division. And we know him as Babatunde. Yes, that's his name. So, welcome all Uniteds. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're having another talk to highlight our candidates and what we want to do in our community, in our constituencies. And I know you guys have a busy Friday out there, and we're looking forward to you spending some time with us as we spend some time with you, working on your business and highlighting that with you. And as usual, we ask you to share this video, share the content, like, and of course, comment. But we want to hear what you think about what is going on in our lovely island. For example, the latest headline is a sixth educator dead in 8 days. Would love to hear what you think about that because the government reaction is mum, and of course, they're hoping to ignore this issue so it goes away so there's no correlation drawn with certain actions they have taken. Also, we'd love to hear what you think about the UIC's various plans. For example, we want to talk to you about our jump program and the community capital club. We want to talk to you about our 1 in 25. That is a new exciting initiative that you gave the UIC. Yes, that you gave the UIC. So we want to talk to you about our 1 in 25 and various other programs as we work our way. We also have a job exposition coming up. That's correct. Job exposition coming up. So we'd like to hear from you about that as well. So stay tuned and enjoy the very lively discussion we're about to have. And I'm joined now by our UIC councillor candidate in the Papine division. Yes, Brother Babatunde. Looking sharp, brother. How are you? Can you hear me, Brother Baba? Your audio is off.
All right,
Yes, that's enough.
all right, yes. Greetings to all great people of our sacred planet. Greetings to all positive uniters. It is indeed
Indeed.
a joy to have this opportunity, join with our chairman, councillor candidate in Westmoreland, to give you a good little insight of both Babatunde and what some of my visions are for my communities and our great movement going forward.
Indeed. Now, I hope all your constituents are tuning in because I know Jamaicans are hungry for change. So, Papine, and what are the other communities in your division, Brother Baba?
Yeah, we have Hermitage, Augustown, Highlight View, aka Mud Town. We have Land Lease, Tavern Avenue, Tavern Drive, Riverview, Kentire Close, and of course we say the Augustown area.
All right.
So
Now, we're looking forward to hear about all these areas. And just so you know, I used to frequent the tavern area a lot when my brother used to go to UTech. I was always up there with him. But before we get into that,
yeah,
tell tell the uniters out there, tell our supporters, tell your supporters who is Babatunde.
all right, all right. So Babatunde started his sojourn or his journey on this mighty earth here within the areas that I'm now given responsibility to present for. So I grew up attending Mountain View Primary, micro practicing, and then Godfrey Stewart High. And while growing, we got an opportunity to be culturized in a positive way, both by my first father and my second father, and then both by my first mother, and then um, other great females who I attracted into our life, or they attracted I into their lives. And we've been progressing steadily after. I am an individual who is interested in doing what is right and living truth. So the mission I take on now really is an epitome of what I am. Other than that, I wouldn't be taking it on. The UIC vision fits perfectly into I way of liberty and doing things. So yeah, we're going on, and like I said, the culturalization that I've been exposed to, of course, Rastafari plays an integral aspect of that culturalization. Hence my names. I am fortunate, or maybe a little bit more than fortunate. I have to be thankful to mommy and daddy for the names they selected and gave to I when I was born. And so I have developed and is still developing. Um, but that culturalization has now impacted I to the point where this persistent interest and need to help others will continue, aka continue, um, through the platform of the UIC. So I could help. I was always helping several individuals. I don't ever reach this part of the program yet, but additional to what I'm doing with the UIC and in the UIC and for the UIC and for the communities that I'm responsible for, I am also a FIFA accredited football coach. And I've been doing this since 96, 97 thereabout. Um, and I've been able, that exposure and experience has allowed me to help a lot of youths in terms of steering them positively and so on. So what I'm doing now just fits. It's not a trial. It's not a wait and see thing. I studied up about the UIC before I joined in. I had also a great opportunity to do an interview with or as I would say, an interview with our great president, Joseph Pattison. And I was
Right.
able to study before I came in.
Wonderful to hear. Thank you for that introduction as to your culturalization. And
Mhm.
my first question to you. The president was on an interview program yesterday and the day before yesterday, and he was asked about the UIC,
Mhm.
who the UIC attracted, and it was framed in a religious context. And he mentioned that the UIC is accepting of every religion because we're not a classist group or a segregationist group. So we try to be accepting of every religion. As part
True.
of the UIC being a Rastafarian, have you ever felt that you're not appreciated as you should be?
Within the movement, that is a no-no. Um, like I said, the search prior to would have helped I greatly because I would have seen that it's a movement that is not um, selfish or not in favor of any one group. Once you commit your integrity and you're competent at what you are doing or you intend to do, um, you are welcome. Integrity is vital. And so, even the other ones who are listening this morning and who will watch this years to come, If you are interested in joining our movement, if you're interested in the betterment of our nation, the item is welcome to join in, irrespective of your way of life. If you are a Christian, we welcome you. If you are Muslim, we welcome you. If you are Buddhist, we welcome you. Morning to all of the Christian sisters out there. Hail up to all of the Christian brethren, to Muslim, to Rastafari, all of my Rastafari, Idrin and Sistrin. Is happiness and joy and love. Same way. The way of life that I been exposed to, we use it to facilitate a change of positivity among our people. For example, I've always told like people, I am Rastafari already. My interest here is to not to see how many people we can get to be Rastafari. Everyone can't be Rastafari. Rastafari is not for everyone. Um, but we function from a certain premise as Rastafari, and I use that to drive and to enhance the lives of others. Um, we've been always talking about love and health and unity and seeing the betterment of our people. Marcus Garvey emphasized that, Emperor Haile Selassie and Empress Menen emphasized that through their liberty and so on. So we are here now and we are charting this course. So it is not only Rastafari that will be voting for Babatunde. Um, we have people from all over, from all aspect of life that will be joining in this process to facilitate the positive change that the UIC is bringing about. And so I'm forever mindful of that. So um, Rastafari is with I, it stays with I all the time. But just like the president emphasized during that interview, um, it doesn't come up unless I am asked, and then the response are guarded because we already know the damage that religion has caused our people, and so now we are set about healing those damages going forward.
Right. I'll get right into it because there's a great question from Angie.
Hmm.
Please share with us some of the methods you are using to get the youths involved and educated on the UIC mission and values.
All right, Andrew. Morning time, Andrew. Thank you for that question. All right. So when we started our visits into the community, um, we that allowed us to get into certain aspect of things because one of the great things about the UIC is that anywhere that you are going to present for as a council candidate or MP, you have to live there. So living in these communities and visiting and going through for many years, I would have seen some of the things that needed to be fixed and the things that's one of the beauty about life. The things that I used to point out to the other two parties that needs to be implemented, I now get a perfect opportunity to fix those very issues. And so going into the communities, we saw a gigantic proportion or display of various skills. What do we mean by that now? So we are simplified. When we go in at these places, we see auto mechanic shops, we see block making shop, we see um, spray paint, body work, we see carpentry, we see building technologies, aka construction. We saw that vast array of these skills on show. And hence now, as my campaign manager said to me, one of the things we're gonna do, see we have all these information of these different skills in the community. Here is what we're gonna do. We're gonna create a skill bank. And so I listened, took notes, and we have started to implement that already. And very soon people who maybe, especially those who are in the liver spore and don't know of these things, know from time to time they are engaged in building homes and all of that. And so the way we go about setting up the skill bank now is to start putting the various things that we see in the community under one group, and we will be developing just maybe a 30-second or a minute video of each, where those are placed on my Facebook page, and people who need to employ and different individuals with different skills can go up here. The page, by the way, is UIC Babatunde, and that is used across several other platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and for YouTube, it is Tunde's Stargate Communication. So that is one way that we have harnessed the talent that we are exposed to. And in due course, you will see the fulfillment or fruition of this vision.
Wonderful. That answered a question that was being asked in the chat, and everybody's really excited to see you here. The boards are lighting up and questions are coming, Brother Baba. Answer the question from Graydon.
We're grateful for that.
That was asking as well about that. But just to add the answer to another part of our question. Yes, the
Yeah.
UIC engages small businesses, churches, and the school, particularly the president and myself.
Hmm.
So that's something that we consistently do. But
Right.
Jamaicans are conscious, and we respect that. And we seek to educate Jamaica as to what true freedom is and how that freedom is procured and the kind of governance structure that ensures that you, a former enslaved people,
Hmm.
is recover your freedom and become true sovereign in the land that we have been deposited and have spent generations fighting to regain our freedom and sovereignty.
Right.
No, no, Brother Baba,
Yes.
let's cut straight to the chase because you mentioned the skill bank and unite us think alike. Not that we are hive minded, but we think alike because we are all thinking about emancipating our people and creating economic empowerment. So
Yes.
several of us, independently of each other, has proposed a similar thing. So, and that will conglomerate in what you are putting forward, which is a job exposition. Tell us
Mm.
about that.
All right. So the job exposition came about. The idea just started in my brain when I heard the prime minister um, spoke to the nation nationally. It's a national platform, um, telling the nation, and no doubt attempting to trick them or convince them that in our nation, known as Jamaica, as I often say, we are lacking skilled workers. And so the UIC has always come out in defense of our people. The UIC has always been there to support our people. And for those of you who are new to the movement, check the 22nd of September 2021, just one of the instances when this great movement came out in support of our people. And so I heard the comments, and I said, the UIC will have to remind the population that we are here, still standing with them. We're not going nowhere. They are same way. And so the idea started to come out. And so a pen, as they say, is mightier than the sword sometimes. So we started jotting things down that the brain was revealing to I. And we came up now again, the team. There's a team of individuals around and with Babatunde. Um, and we started to, started just meditate on the idea. Again, head of my the manager of my movement here, aka campaign. We started to share the idea, and we make notations of it, documented it properly. Then we suggested it to our president, Mr. Joseph Patterson, Immediately as he heard the idea, he said, "Yes, go ahead, Babatunde. This is approved." And so we started putting in the plan, and we look for uniters who may be interested in helping in the organization of this. And so we draw and we knocked and we pulled on our chairman, the strength of our chairman, yours truly, Mr. Wright. We tapped into the energy of Carlene Ramirez, who is um, I'm not sure if she even fully understands the power of her own creativity. Um, but I get trust part of the responsibility that I have is to bring out the greatness in each individual, especially each uniters here. And so she joined in. There were others who we would have loved to have their input, but they just didn't have the time. But yeah, and so we started it off there, and we already know when we organize something, say enough sleepless hours ago, you know, become in the mix. So yeah, so very soon, the population will be told when exactly. Well, that has started already. So you'll see your flyers and your different things coming out as the day get closer. But this job bank now, as when you listen to me, I know I'm excited. I know some of run up and down in the kitchen. I say, yeah, I know some of the brethren them are bus blank and thing and yeah. But when we speak, we always want to give clear and precise information. So this job exposition now, the United Independence Congress, we are not giving you a job yet because we're not necessarily in that situation where we can employ millions of you. However, though, we are facilitating your cry, your plea that a lie was told to the population by the Prime Minister, and we are providing the proof to say, see, here are thousands of Jamaicans who are skilled, have their accreditation, aka certificate, but they do not have any proper jobs. And so we are facilitating your cry. We're bringing your cry, and we want you to stop cry too. We want you to start rejoice. So we are bringing plight to the ears of the wider population. Your plight to the employers, um,
Yeah, that's an important group.
and so on. So we are facilitating. So do not come next strong, aka next week, and say the UIC said I was giving you a job. No, what you put in your brain is also important. So you're hearing us now say we have a job exposition. We are looking out for the betterment of your development, right? So we are inviting you to come out, carry your accreditation, take copies of your resume, um, your birth paper, all of the necessary things that you would take when you're going into a job out of you. Um, and we will show the nation that here are thousands of you who are skilled but do not have a job. And then the
Now,
nation would see now that, oh, okay, this lie was told and it is not the truth. Hence, um, the response from the UIC and the jobless natives of our land.
so if I can add this, Brother Babatunde,
Yeah.
right now, most of the major infrastructural work in Jamaica, where everybody that knows that the country's infrastructural work hires the skill sets in that country to provide employment. So most of our infrastructural work, government and otherwise, is now going to
Mm-hmm.
non-Jamaicans. Not that we are opposed to other groups benefiting because a free trade is essential for any economy to work. But
Mm-hmm.
as the UIC always maintain, trading should not be at the expense of our natives. What is
Right.
happening now? Our skills persons are being cut out. We see the government doing it. We
Mm-hmm.
see affluent and so-called influential persons in the society, including politics, doing it, and in
Right.
business now joining into this. When we put together the skill bank, outside of proving the fallacy, what is
Mm.
the other goal that we want to achieve?
All right. The other goal is that we want to the talent, the richness of the talent and the capability of the talent is vital when put to the proper use. So one of the things that motivated us now to implement a skill bank as council candidate, I don't think that I'll have to wait to get into to get elected before I can start to show what my capabilities are as a council candidate. And so the work starts, and we want to put those things to use because sometimes I know many people who would need a carpenter or a mason or a painter, a plumber, etc. But they don't know that that skill exists within their own communities or in close proximity to them. And so they'll go about hiring people from outside when the talent is right within the community. So as UIC now, we are always being a facilitator, promotion of the skill, promotion of the talent.
Great. This data that will go into the skill bank, we will make it available to employers who is seeking to identify these talents when they realize the misinformation that is being broadcasted.
Yes. So those of you who are listening, those of you who know people who need people for work, once you go up to the UIC website, um, and we will announce between today and tomorrow all of that details. But when you go to the UIC website, which is uicjamaica.com, you will be able to click on a portal or a link there. That link gives all the information about the UIC Job Exposition 2022. Um, when you fill out the documents is and information is stored there. Those who want to employ, once they go, they visit, they look at whatever they want, whether they want carpenter, whether they want a mason, whether they need an electrician, all of that information will be there. They can visit and select who they are interested in employing. Um, the job seekers now, when you go up to the site, um, the information that you provided, make sure that it is true, and um, you don't give any numbers that people can't reach you and so on, because that will only lead to your detriment. They'll also have an opportunity to put a minimum of 3 skills. Um, an electrician may be skilled to do carpenter work. So likewise a painter and so on. So you have options in which you can put your stuff down. Um, that information, like I say, is there, and people can just check it and see what it is they would want to employ. Also, now when you are given a job, my people, listen carefully. One of the things is our ancestors taught us in life. You must never forget your upbringing. You must never forget how you were brought up. You must never forget those who help and reach out to you. When you are given a job, whether it be by our natives who own business or foreigners who come into our nation to invest, treat the job with regard and respect. Remember the days and the night when you never have nothing, no food. Yeah, sometimes a cheese sticks and water. People talk about dumpling and butter and all them something. Dumpling and rice and butter. But I remember the cheese sticks and water times. Do not ever forget that. So what does that help you to do? Is one, to respect the job, respect the people them who employ you, respect yourself, and you develop a great integrity. Don't forget that. Good.
Beautiful. I love the way you put that, Brother Baba. And we encourage everyone to be respectful. As we like to say, no force, no fraud.
That's
Uh,
right.
so make sure the terms of employment suit you, and you are clear as to what is required of you, and you deliver what is required and insist on what you should get in return. That's the way we live. Now, you told me quite a bit about the Job Expo.
Yeah.
Tell me more about your community activities. When you go out in the community to meet,
Mhm.
introduce yourself,
Yeah.
how are you received?
Um, we are the reception sometimes is can be sometimes surprising in a positive way. Um, there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of interest for what we are doing and what we're bringing. So I am always an individual who pays close attention to words, to the actions of people. And so those of you who don't know me yet, one of the things I do is that I and elders and old, but society would have called old people, we get along very well. And so in our communication, I find these things about females, even if they're 1,000 or they're 20, they have this thing that when they're talking to you, they look face forward, look into your eyes, look into your facial features, and they will explain in detail sometimes if times allow. And some of the message I get, Babatunde, those who don't know the name yet, to UIC, this is the change that we need. Want to make sure want to get it right and do not disappoint us because this is what we're looking for to save it. Know when such a comment can escape the lips of a native. Yeah, it is things when I come away sometime and I go into my bush, yell up to Yaksta. When I go into my bush, it's deep inner meditation. It's a good time to make nothing know say outside of football coaching and UIC duties. I'm a farmer of indigenous plants and herbs and all of that. So when you're going on this, it's a deep meditation time. And I use those moments and messages to stabilize the foundation, the fundamental premise, the core, because every journey you take on in life it have its challenges. And so those moments helped us to keep going, keep going. Yeah, I have to I wanna so I coach players. One of the imperative things is that I have to coach Babatunde also. And I take coaching from the sensible females around I and wherever I go and see them, yeah, I take that sort of coaching. And so I have to make sure that I coach my brain and every aspect of my anatomy to deliver for the natives and to deliver for the United Independence Congress persistently.
I like how that sounds. So let me ask you this. In terms of the community, when you move about, what do you see as the two greatest needs in your community, in your division, rather than your community?
They excellent because we pay attention to words. So yeah, well done. So in the communities now, we're seeing the lack of opportunity, opportunity to express that particular talent. So whether it be carpentry, mason, plumbing, electrician, footballer, netballer, um, the lack of opportunity is an impediment to the development of our people. And so I have to put things in place. I and the team here to start rectify or to fix the situations. There are some things that I'll not be able to do until I'm elected for the people and the UIC. However, there's always things that you can do to show the people that you are committed. And so one of the things that I'm now maxing out, and I trust that the ears of the liver spore will tap into this one and give us some help. I have a basic school who is in need of help, like from 5 years ago. This school is surviving without light from Jamaica Public Service. Miss Winsome Callum, we need to make communication. Um, they have a bill for approximately $100,000. There's no computers. Um, they're trying to do some expansion. Oh man! So I am tasked with you know implementing some early changes so that not just people can see that I'm committed, but also they can know that the UIC is about speaking what we're living and living what we speak, because all the picking of them is exposed to um a situation. So when them left them yard and coming out of the classroom, they're not exposed to a comfortable environment that facilitates proper learning. And I don't want that. I don't want that. So that is one main task right now. Um, so out of all of the communities, that is one of the mainest tasks. Don't write that words into exam, Pitney. Mainest is Babatunde word. So that is one of the focus now, very pivotal. And there are other things, but we just put this up at top of the list because that school has attributed a lot to the development of our nation. The school have functioned for over 30 years. Um, so morning to Auntie Joy from MacLeod Basic School in Highlight View. Yeah, like I said, so that is it. There is also we find that a lot of individuals pension, there are issues with their pension. Morning to Paul Nelson from Standpipe. Morning also to his son, former standout superstar Manning Cup baller and former star at the Premier League level. And of course, he played some time overseas. I know the nation, some of you may have forgotten that name, but Rowan Nelson, formerly of Dunoon Technical, and Kibaki Holloway, formerly of Dunoon Technical, also. Morning to the whole of the island. So we are in need of help to get the MacLeod Basic School functioning like a school. Yeah. When I spoke with the principal, there's really no help coming from the government. I don't think they care much about education from the basic school level. Because even in their disposition or whatever they present a year, they call it budget, it's not the education from the basic level coming up is often neglected to the point where they don't even regard the basic school teachers.
That is why the UIC stated policy is to have more educators, especially those at the early childhood level, be educated to a master's degree in early childhood education and educational development. I see Angie here asking how to go about implementing a solar project for this school. So it sounds like there's somebody who have ideas as to how you can go about helping them, Baba. Can you share your contacts again so this person can dialogue with you?
All right, Angie, morning time. So I can be reached at Tunde's for email. It's UIC9 Babatunde 9 UIC 9 Babatunde is one word at gmail.com. So it's UIC numeral 9 Babatunde numeral 9 at gmail.com. There's a number, um 1876 354 5561 1876 354 5561. On the social platforms, Facebook is there, UIC Babatunde. um Twitter, same thing. TikTok, same thing. For YouTube, it is Tundes. Tundez, Tundez. Z, Stargate Communications with a K, and you find us there. So please feel free to link in with us. You find people that want to join and help us. We welcome all of that. Um, for
Community action, right?
Yeah, right, sure, and so on. So that is it. Those are some of the ways that you can reach Babatunde.
I have a question from Rick Burns for you, Babatunde.
Hmm.
Whose children are attending this basic school? Are the parents not able to help the school? If not financially, then kind or time.
All right, so I'm gonna slow it down. And the laughter sometimes helps in the composure of myself. So worry not, my people. Um, the parents are depend upon the school for get help because many times the people them not go come to school because parent them not on lunch money. Remember one of the reasons why the UIC step out, firm and militant, 22nd September 2021. The pandemic was geared at destroying certain sections of the society. Yeah. And um, they had temporary success because like the brethren who live in Augustown named Miguel Collins, aka Sizzler Kalonji, did say in a song, you can't keep our people down. Yeah, even when them want so we mash up and crash up, we still keep a smile. Even when them want so we frown. We can't keep a good woman or a good male down. Or a good picnic either. So
All right, so
the school right now is looking to the community are look for the school for help. Because a lot of the parent them now no proper employment. Yeah. I realize also that a lot of ones, even within the island here, and natives outside of um, Jamaica, or as I would say, Jamaica, they're not in tune with the reality of what is going on. The people are suffering. It's that more make the item know. The sufferation where is dished out to our people by the government and the system that the government has implemented. It terribly. So now because we not come more time and turn on a camera and we a ball, the system dirty. Not for the people them in the community, not living in a proper housing, no nothing. And when I say man, so yeah, we're glad for the question, my brethren, but I trust my answer it in the best way. You see? So yeah, if the school, let us say we raise some funds and we put on a work there, the parent them will come out and help the school. Yeah. But you still have to, because the parent them not have nothing to. When them come out and do a little work, you still have to find a stipend. So when them are going forward, them can carry in something, maybe some ground provision, them can find two bungalow, kalalo, and some pack char or whatever the situation is. But every time we speak, man, just keep it in the brain, my people, the liver spora, because the item not dead. So I'm not going to call him a diaspora, he's alive. So the community from the liver spora, some of you know, some of you don't know, some of you may forget, some of you may think these things are non-existent, but the people are suffering. And they're at a boiling point now. The water boil up and it starts spill over upon the stove.
all
So
right,
if
so
go ahead.
let let's frame that answer a bit now, brother Baba.
Yeah.
You're looking to support the school to get that school more comfortable and amenable to education.
Yeah.
Now, you've mentioned that you're looking for assistance to do that. I'm
Mm.
paraphrasing.
Yes.
Is this the only way, or you're looking to create a sustainable way where the community can support itself to keep the school functional?
All right. So the long-term plan, I'm gonna relocate that school. There's some land adjacent or in close proximity to where the school is now located. Um, because because there's no proper building structure or plan clearly outlined for communities. Um, Over time, you find that people would build closer to the school. Now, a school environment must have its own space, clearly defined and so on. So, long term, relocate the school, have a proper structure built up and so on. Short term is to assist them um, with computers and the best way going forward with light. So I am not. So yes, if you pay someone, if you owe someone, you should pay them. The principal didn't say there's any queries with the bill. They owe it and they just couldn't pay it, and the light is disconnected. So after clearing that bill, once I can raise the necessary funds, I am going to look at the best in terms of sustenance now, implementing a solar system for the school. Um, and after that, we gradually work to accomplish the other visions. I trust I have answered your question full sum.
Yes, you can. And I'll share a comment from Rick Burns in continuation of the question. It seems that we should be encouraging personal and community responsibility and not dependent on handout, which is exactly what the UIC does, which is why my question was about sustainability
Right.
and the way forward, whether or not there'll be a sustainable way going forward to
Yes.
make
Yeah.
sure that
All right.
all of this is taken care of.
Mm-hmm. So yes, well, in everything we do, we always look at the sustainable way. So once we implement this solar setting now, um, that is one of the way that we can sustain the school now. They don't have to depend on GPS. Um, Implemented in this, there will be a proper monitoring system and proper management of the solar facility. So too will be any other help that is given to the school. um, Whatever we do, we always put things in place to focus on the sustenance. So if we get 7 computer or 10, whatever the situation is, we don't come next year and we come back asking for computer. So proper maintenance from that same community, we can have um, computer technicians, and that currently exists in the space that can be given work to make sure these gadgets are properly maintained.
Great. Thank you for that, Brother Baba. There's still a lot of other questions about the education aspect of it. So, what I'd encourage persons to do is to check out our website. We have information there on our LEAP program, which is our Learning and Empowerment program.
Hmm.
All right. So, check that out and you'll see what our position are as a uniter, as a political movement, what our positions are and positions, plural, are on the various aspects of education. So, check that out if
If
you're
you
interested in
before you
learning more about
before you
educational plan.
proceed, Chairman, if I could just suggest to them that if you go to the UIC website, you can try and find what is called a 10-point plan. If not, you can go to the my page UIC Babatunde on Facebook. When you type UIC 10-point plan in, you will see something come up. You can begin to study that. The next option to that, you can send a text to the number I gave earlier. I will send to you that information, the 10-point plan, among some other things. You can begin to read, study into that. If you have questions thereafter, you make notes of that. Um, but one of the ways that you can begin to empower yourself about what the UIC is doing is to study the materials. Already, we have a manifesto for local government election. We also have one for the general election. These documents give you proof that we are about positive change.
Wonderful. Thank you, Brother Baba, for highlighting those. Let's
Mhm.
talk about social and economic empowerment now in a sustainable way. The jump program, particularly the community capital club, how do you see that helping a community like your, well, the communities that you represent?
Very well, because we the jump program don't have the red tapes as all these banks do, and banks are not necessarily interested in the development of our people. When we say people, now we're talking, no matter where you live, and we know UIC now referring to as a squatter, because the land belongs to the people, not Elizabeth. The people is where the land belong to. When slavery did done, them tell the people say 3 acres and a mule. Either the mule turn fool or is the people them a say as fool, but up to now that no materialize. But for the other nationals, Chinese and Indians, they got theirs. So wherever you see land with people and it not owned by no one, it owned by the government and no one not depend it occupied. You secured some of that land, get it survey and start paying your property tax. And from there you can begin to make provisions to purchase that land. But you have a right, you as an individual native of this land, you have a right to a proper living space. Good.
Understood. All right, so let's continue with that jump program. You
Right.
mentioned earlier there's the various skilled workers and artisans in your community. When you speak to them,
Mm-hmm.
how receptive are they to a program that allows them to come together and pool resources as a community to uplift each other?
Yeah. As I said earlier on, we find jump as a way that can generate a startup capital for these business. So there's heightened interest for it. There's heightened interest for it already. Um, so as soon as it's launched and rolled out fully, then we will begin to incorporate the different individuals who are interested in that. One of the difference about jump on a bank system is the percent that you repay based on what you borrow. It's not stifling to your pocket and your existence. And so by that I mean it's very reasonable. And it is set out to help our people, empower people, as it creates employment that they can sustain their lives from.
Let me just take a minute to correct a lovely comment I saw here. Uh, Brother Baba.
Yeah.
So Brother Rick Byrne said, "Wow, people have a right to capture land that is not occupied." So let's firstly frame your comment in the law as it is. The law as it is gives the right of possession
Hmm.
to someone who sees a parcel of land and can, through the proper channels, take possession and arrange for purchase and property tax.
Right.
So that's what is being referred to. Not
Hmm.
capture, as we know it in the sense where somebody just got take over a piece of land and stay on it and hold on it. No. It's just saying that by virtue of us being here and that law being on the books,
Hmm.
that is one means by which persons can gradually work their way up to property ownership.
That's right.
So UIC believes in proper town planning. That's why
Hmm.
our housing plan looks at what we call medium density housing. And that's why we have a plan that allows the country, the population, to gain housing of above ordinary standard, and that
Yes.
is affordable, and
Yeah.
that provides population guidance in terms of how the land is developed, how housing
Mhm.
is structured on that land, what type of lands are used for housing, so that way we can preserve arable lands, etc. So it's a comprehensive policy. So the snippet, the soundbite, is not the sum total of the policy. Just to point that out to the
Very good.
person
Rick,
listening.
Mr. Rick Burns, sir, kindly avail yourself of our 10-point plan. Um, Visit it and you will be empowered thereon. In there is also what we call our philosophy, our objective, our values, and things of that nature. But you see, someone taught you from your inception. So in your culturalization, Rick, they taught you that capture and squatting and all. They attach all these negative connotations. But Sir Rick, I am speaking from a premise of right, and the right of our people must never be downtrodden or negate or whatever the situation is. So when I go to different places and I see the way our people is living, and yet so much land, government owned land, fling down all over the place. Yes, sir. I will never apologize for telling our people to find these lands, take the necessary steps in
But,
owning them.
but,
Go
but
ahead.
let's make sure that we're pointing out that it's within the context of a structured development plan.
That's right. That is right. So I'm not sorry. So the premise that I am coming from, I am not in support of a lot of how things are built. When you are building, you must follow the order. But one of the issues is the people don't know what building codes or building order there is that exists. Because the KCC, as we know it now, is understaffed. Yeah. Um, so what I was told is that they don't have sufficient people to go all about the place and to ensure that the building code is being adhered to. I'm not one who is in support of zinc fences. Yeah. That doesn't make for a proper community. The aesthetics of the community um, takes a beating when there is zinc fence and all of this thing. You're building too close to your neighbor, or you're building a house against right at the edge of the river. That river is going to be contaminated by the seepage of sewage. So that's not what we advocate for, Rick. I am advocating for people having a proper living space. But when you now have this living space, you must avail yourself of what the building codes are, how close you can build to a river bank, because a river carries water that every individual have to utilize, and so on. So you can build a soakaway pit on the edge of a river and all these things. So I like to see proper laid out communities. That means road has been cut, it's been able to be accessed by the security forces, proper design, proper layout, and so on. um yeah, so that is what we're advocating for. So you also have this upclass community that they don't follow the building codes also. A lot Some of these when you call posh thing or whatever, they are not properly laid out. There's no building structure. But because there's rich people there, it is accepted. So I am not in support of things that is not right. Yeah. We just I say well, our people was promised, Rick, and the promise must be fulfilled, Rick. Yeah, where people not live nowhere, where people not have no proper structure for dwell, and that must change, and that will change with a UIC government.
Understand, brother Baba. So let's talk now about your team in your community, and we'll need to close shortly.
What?
How
Eh?
how how, how are they helping you
Christians are coming.
to
No.
meet the people?
All right. So the team, and we do as we even speak now, we still welcome those who are finding themselves interested in bettering our nation and by joining the UIC. Um, I am saying again, we reach out, just make a link to we welcome you. There are still things that we need in terms of the human capital now. So please feel free to reach out and join up with I and I. Thus far, how we see the team around I is going, it's really good because, like I say, as we get closer to this moment in time where we will have an opportunity to experience a third party contesting um, in one of the major elections, which is the local government election. Um, this has not, I've not witnessed this since I was born. And so we have an opportunity now to see how a UIC will do in this sort of a setting. So the team is very vital, very, 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 very superbly vital. So um, thus far, yeah. And as with the thing becomes now more of a force, a gigantic force, as I often say, we will have others reaching out. But there's a core team in place now, and we're truly grateful for them. Morning to Grace and Thomas, morning to Karen Babatunde, morning to Zenora Ford, morning to Paul Nelson, morning to Desiree, um, and morning to all of you all. So yeah, those are just some of the individuals that are currently a driving force. Morning to Uptown Link Up. That's Sean Grant from Hermitage. Morning to Ras Plummer from Hermitage. Um, Morning to the people of Cheshire Village, the people of Kentire Close, the people of Highlight View, the people of Land Lease. Morning to the whole line, morning to the people of Marmy River, morning to the item, Yale of Tyrone, morning to uh, Vivian, morning to Aki Mullins. Yeah, Yale up to the eye. Um, yeah, morning to Pablo, morning to Andrew Carey, who comes out and make sure that sound and certain equipment is set up. So we're proud of how we see things going so far. And with your help now, people from the liver spora, people from within Jamaica, with your greater help now that will arrive after this morning, yeah, we will be doing more. One of the good things now is that we have certain infrastructure which we can use to, and which we are using to reach you, the people. So those are some of the social platforms. And when you go up on the UIC Babatunde Facebook page, videos are there. Take your time and scroll down, because wherever we go, there's documentation of what is done, and it is placed there. Yeah, observe what's going on, make your comments, make your suggestion, and so if you have a suggestion though, it's always best now after you go to that Facebook page and you see, send a text into the number, make your suggestion, and we see how it goes.
Thank you, Brother Baba. Appreciate you being here with us. Appreciate your words. And
Mhm.
we'll continue to work, learn, and grow. Support the people of Jamaica and transition to where we can make sure that all Jamaicans are seen equally, treated equally, and have access to equal opportunity, equal protection to life, liberty, and property under non-partisan constitutional government
Yeah.
that sees the individual as sovereign. Thank you, Brother Baba. Appreciate you being here with us. We'll
Um,
talk soon.
Before you go, Chairman, we have some questions coming in. Can we take a few more minutes and see if we can answer a few of these? What you feel about that?
Tight schedule, but why not? I can squeeze another minute or two.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
this is,
let's.
this is if I may just take this first question while you look at others. We see
Go
Sarah
ahead.
first coming in, watching from the US. I love the UIC, but find out that a lot of people still don't know about you. Please, let's spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Please. So thank you, Sarah. That was a good comment. We take note of that, and we'll be acting on, or we'll be definitely taking your suggestions. If you have any, Winston, you can go ahead.
You're doing a good job.
All right. So, Miss Smith, we have templates that were successful, except for something DES. One question I saw earlier, if the UIC provide any help with writing a proper CV. Um,
And
we
that's
may
what I
have
was looking for.
yeah, we may have to start a class on that, but we'll keep
But
you
will
posted.
but will that be part of the exposition though?
All right, you see, okay, so let's just put it this way. If you are not able to write your CV as yet, still come to the job expo. We register you, have your information. But once you are there, you are more likely to be helped in that regard than if you're not there. So um, once you have the accreditation or you have the skill, um, just forward. If you don't have the accreditation, there are plans in place to help you get that certification, but nothing must prevent you from reaching out to this job exposition.
I get you. There's one question that I see here that is asking why are people resigning from the UIC? And
Hmm.
I'd like to answer that one, if even though
Yeah,
this
go
is
ahead.
your interview, brother Baba.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
United Independence Congress is a collection of people with different mindset, ideology, thought processes,
Hmm.
and we unite them under one common cause. And for that, we often differ. Now, what we hope is that Jamaicans have the, and I use this term not in a derogatory way, but as a term of endearment, we hope that the persons we engage have the maturity to stay the course and work through differences. But what we find, Jamaicans are very spirited. And it being spirited, we are also very proud people. And if things aren't going our way, we then choose to depart from the circumstance. Just like we did during slavery, just like we've done during tough times. And as a matter of fact, right now we're facing unprecedented tough times. And the thing that I see and the thing that gives me great joy is that a lot of Jamaicans think like the Uniters do, where they are creating economic alternatives. And that is why Uniters who disagree decide that, you know what, let me go somewhere else or let me move out of the way. Right? We are proud people, and we
Yes.
we are making sure that we exercise our priority of choice. And in exercising that, the movement as a collective is not opposed to that. We wish everybody would join and everybody would stay. But persons come and go for various reasons, and we are accepting of that. We might not necessarily want it, but we are accepting of it. And we understand the various reasons and the various processes. Some of it has been good, some of it has been bad. We embrace both the good and the bad and hope to work with everyone. And we hope that those who have departed, when they realize that the movement still continues and still
Yes.
continues true to purpose,
Definitely.
will find their way back to the cause.
Yes.
As for a definitive answer that John Brown left for this reason, Xavier or Sear or whomever else has left for that reason, I won't be able to give you that as an answer. But I hope this answer suffices in the fact that we're all individuals free to exercise a choice, and those individuals who exercise the choice to leave instead
Yeah.
of doing the work through whatever challenge they perceive. Thank you,
That's
my
right.
brother.
That's right. So we give thanks for the moment, give thanks for the time. Those who put in your questions, I think maybe we should have a part two, Sir Chairman, where we just take questions. I see a lot of questions here, but because of the time and so on, we're not able to facilitate that now. So we'll let you know if there's going to be a part two and so on. But for all of those who take time off, either go through the door and hear and turn back and listening to
Well,
put in a comment or a question. Go ahead, Winston.
but there will be a part two because you'll need to come back and tell the community and the viewers how the expo went. They'll want to hear that. So those who weren't able to support will
Yeah,
be
yeah,
able to.
yeah.
Right? So
Um,
feel free to come
yeah,
back for that part two. Also, the next initiative that the UIC viewers, subscribers, members have given is the 1 in 25 challenge,
Yeah.
where we'll seek each day to get one person to donate 25, and this is 25 US dollars,
Right.
to the movement and the cause. And that is something that we also need to report on. The president is jumping in here. Let me
Well,
bring him in.
boy,
Mr. President,
I say,
welcome.
Morning, good morning.
whoa,
How you doing?
greetings,
Morning, Mr.
greetings.
President. You see, I have, Baba, I had a meeting to get to, but that
Okay.
meeting now I'm going to be regrettably late.
Oh,
Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Yeah, no problem. I was just jumping on just to look in the background, but you put me in the foreground. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Babatunde. Good morning to all our viewers and guests and supporters and members online. Really appreciate it. I've been following the conversation while trying to get some work done. Very
uh-huh.
healthy conversation. Love what I'm hearing. We
Good,
definitely
good.
want to make sure that we get all Jamaicans to become property owners. And I
Yeah.
see somebody saying that the land is free, and that is true. The land belongs to us, the people of Jamaica. The truth is, we shouldn't have to buy land. We should be inheriting land. So
That's
it should be
right.
coming down from our parents, our grandparents, our great grandparents. Each generation comes down, and you share this intergenerational asset.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the system is messed up, as we know, so now we have to fix it. So we
Yes.
have to do it in two stages. One is, as the chairman so ably pointed out, we have to make sure that we have, I think he called it middle density housing. Some call it high density housing, but middle density housing, which
True.
is to give high quality condominiums for Jamaicans who want that, because that's what they can afford, but it's also high quality. But we
Mhm.
also strategically make sure we can afford that by having our farmlands under production. So we want to put all of our farmlands under production. And something I've observed, Babatunde,
Yeah.
you can give a man a piece of land and him the land just sit down because he lacks so many things. He might lack the capital, he
True.
might lack the knowledge, he might lack the zest and drive. And so he has a piece of land, but it's just sitting there, it's not being used, it's idle for various reasons. So
Hmm.
what we want to do as a government is to make sure that people who want to farm can farm. Those who don't want to farm don't have to farm. They will live in their high density homes. They'll have beautiful parks,
Yeah.
community center, daycare facility, security, all the good things in a nice condominium going up in the sky. Some 500 persons living on one building, if they will, but they have, library, community center, all the stuff they need on site.
Hmm.
But the land now, the land, which is important, the land, the big amount of land we have that we're not using properly, now
Yeah.
we put those on the organic farming. So you have these massive.
President, you there, Chairman? All right. So while we wait on our president to rejoin, there's some disturbance with the
Internet,
internet
yes.
connection. Yeah.
And
So
so this is what we have to face in a developing country that is trying to be first world.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not proper internet.
So
But
while we wait on him to rejoin, I observe Angie. How can we go about implementing a solar project for this school? Um, we have made a notation of that earlier, Angie, or mention of that earlier. So Angie, you can link into Babatunde, give me a call or a text, and we gradually, we can share ideas. You may have some suggestions that we have not thought about as yet. So we welcome that. Baba Blue, like the vibe, so cool. Respect Baba Blue. Um, yeah, so that is thing with there's like ton loads of question. Um Nah, like
I just,
Rasta, your voice
I
sound really sincere. All right, give thanks. Baba Blue that again. Go ahead, Chairman.
that's what happened to the talk from the heart, my brother. You sound sincere. But Beverly
Yeah.
said we're not in a development stage as yet, but we're not in a development stage, and that's why I said we're trying to become developed. But
Mhm.
you know, uh, we have to work through these things. But to finish the thought the president was making was that we'd put the arable lands into organic farming production.
That's
Right?
right.
We've seen the models how they work, and food
Mhm.
security becoming a big challenge. We expect that to worsen, and we want Jamaica to be positioned to be able to provide food and water security because you did mention how freshwater resources, how to protect them, and those are things that we look at and we take to heart. So we'll be working on those. But brother Baba, Mr. President has lost his internet, so we will
Yeah.
get back to
So
him.
I just two more of these questions, and then if
No, no,
President
brother
don't
Baba.
join.
No, gotta have to go. Gotta have to go.
All right. All right. So
Let's do part two.
Nadia Parkinson, there will be a part two. Morning to Sonia Mignot, Michael Henry, all of that. Angie, Baba Blue, give thanks. Thank you, Sir Chairman. This has been good. Remember, just go up on to the UIC Babatunde page on Facebook. That's one of the way you can make communication with us. Twitter, same name. TikTok, same name. For YouTube, Stundes Stargate Communication. Um, for direct stuff, you can either email or call 1-876-354-5561. Email UIC Babatunde. Sorry, UIC9 Babatunde9 at gmail.com. UIC9 Babatunde9 at gmail.com. 1-876-354-5561. That's how you reach. Keep positive, my people. Stay out of trouble. Stay away from things that's negative, and we just all have vibe. The UIC is in a cleansing period, and we are joyful for that. The cleansing continues, and once you clean out your house, then you can make way for the visitors and those who will forward to join forces with you. One Jamaica, one UIC,
Thank you, my
one.
brother. Have a great one. Blessed
Respect,
day.
big up. Yeah, that was great.
All right. Lydia, the Canadian equivalent works. All right. I didn't do the conversion for that. My apologies. But more will come on that. Stay tuned to UIC Liberty TV. It was great having you with us. Do appreciate your time. We know it's precious. We know it's valuable. One Jamaica. Take care, everyone.